A while ago, I read some. I was reading. I think it was an interview. Uh, it was in text. Someone put the interview in text, I think, or it was some lecture, whatever. I was reading it by. It was by Arjun's Wonder Planets. There were people asking him questions. I don't know what kind of an event it was. But yeah, he gets asked about some parasites, and he says he mentioned this guy's name, Joel Weinstock, and his study on mice, where he infected mice with. Well, let me pull it up. Um, he infected mice with a certain parasite, and their IBD got better. IBD is inflammatory bowel disease. It's uh, it's an autoimmune condition. While in Iowa, Blom told me that Weinstock's work on parasites and IBD thrived. We ended up using some species of knockout mouse. These mice spontaneously develop IBD, so it's a species of mice that's susceptible to developing IBD. The laboratory developed a procedure to infect the mice with the helminth, hel, helminthic mouse roundworm. I'm not gonna even try to pronounce that. you had to draw the you had to draw the warm saline mixture up into a syringe, Blum told me. It took two people. One person would hold the mouse down by the scruff of the neck, hold the tail, and put the needle in the mouth. We just give them a little drink with worms in it. Dr. Weinstock was really good at it, he said. Sometimes I'd wait for him to come back from clinic to do the gavage. I don't know what gavage means. Miraculously, mice infected by H. polygyrus, this species of parasite, never developed colitis. Through changes in dendritic cell function, the parasite impeded intestinal antigen specific responses, shielding the mice from an immune response. Gone airy. He wasn't surprised, Blum said. He was pretty certain by that point that parasites played a role in preventing IBD. So, what this tells us is I know it's going to be a huge shocker, guys, but just like how every single animal in nature is exposed to parasites constantly and exposed to all sorts of bacteria constantly, we too are supposed to be exposed to these constantly. That's just how we evolved. We evolved to, these mice evolved to have this response to the parasites. And when the parasite isn't there, which was never the case in the mice's evolutionary history, there there was never a case of the parasite not being there in this specific mice's evolutionary history, or maybe very few of them. So this mice just evolved with the parasite, and when you take that parasite away, even if it's not benefiting the mice as such, it will cause problems because that's how the immune system evolved along with the mice. Let's read some of the um, article in the NIH's website. The screenshot was taken from another website. By the way, it was another thing. He's talking about how in the modern world we're super clean. Meanwhile, the 20th century has seen a rapid increase in an entirely new set of diseases, such as inflammatory bowel disease, These once rare diseases caused by autoimmunity have become relatively common in less than a century. Why? 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 I wonder why. Of course, other stuff have effects on this too. Um, Obviously, like he mentions, antibiotics, being too clean, cleaning agents that we use to clean everything, constantly washing everything for no reason, but also C sections. Obviously, when you have a C section, like you're supposed to come out of the vagina, right? You're supposed to get those bacteria on your skin. Like that's just a natural process. So when you're born with a C-section, obviously that's not going to be the same. So I'm sure I don't know the effects it has, but it's certainly not natural and it can't be good. I mean, why do we need C-sections anyways? That's a whole other story. But yeah, another thing that ruins our immune system is that thing we can't talk about on YouTube. Evil properties of intestinal parasites are often overblown, obviously. If the host dies, so does the worm. Yeah. Why would the parasite want to kill you? It might steal nutrients from you, but like these effects are overblown. The parasite just wants to, you know, use you as a place to nest. It doesn't want you to die. It just wants some of your nutrients. And the stuff we take to remove these parasites are far worse than the parasites themselves. The stuff we take obviously also remove helpful stuff, helpful parasites, helpful microbes. So I'm not saying that every parasite is going to be helpful to you, but or bacteria, but you need to have them because it's natural to have them. Look what happens when you try to optimize your health using technology like Brian Johnson. Complete disaster. Was it possible that improved hygiene by ridding our bodies parasitic worms? Newer problem. Immune mediated diseases. I, I would say it's definitely not just parasites. It's also that thing we can't talk about on YouTube is devastating for the immune system, especially the one that people received um, during you know the during like the 2020 around that time. I think you know what I'm talking about. Especially that thing. Yeah, you can look it up. It caused many autoimmune disorders that affect the nervous system. Some of these parasites can damage the liver, bladder, or eyes. Can damage. So it wasn't always the case. Why was that? Maybe the kid wasn't fed properly. Maybe the kid received some medication or that thing we can't talk about on YouTube, and it ruined his immune system. Ridiculous. We evolved for hundreds of thousands of years along with parasites, guys. Are they suddenly the reason that we're dying? No. It's something else. These parasites can cause problems, but only if you're already damaged, you know? Because normally the parasite doesn't want to damage you. But the parasite isn't adapted for unhealthy humans too. The parasites are evolved for humans with strong immune systems, healthy humans who eat actual human food. We gave mice enteric worms such as this thing and this thing. The animals were protected from autoimmune disease. So yeah, this goes out to all the people watching this video who are still who do believe that meat is ideal human food, but still cook the meat for some fucking reason. There's no reason to do that. There's no reason to create carcinogens. There's no reason to make your food unnatural. Reduce the B vitamins and vitamin C. There's no reason whatsoever to do that. Eat eat your meats raw, especially organ meats. Guys, really don't cook liver. Cooked liver is very harmful because I mean it's still gonna have like vitamin A and stuff, but the problem with cooked liver is going to be liver has a ton of DNA in it. It has an insane amount of DNA in it, far more than just muscle meat. And DNA denatures when you cook your food. And honestly, the liver cooks relatively easily. Also, why would you cook your liver? Like the reason you would want to eat liver is because of all the micronutrients, and you destroy most of them by cooking it, especially the B vitamins and stuff. Yeah, this is a very interesting article. Very interesting subject to look into. Worms seem to alter the bacterial composition of intestinal flora, promote the growth of gut microorganisms, typically considered to be probiotics, help to maintain intestinal health. Of course, why not? Why would we only be symbiotic with microbes? Why not also animals like parasites, like roundworms and stuff, or whatever worms? Whoa, what is this? At present, a multi-central trial in Europe conducted by drug firm Dr. Dr. Falk Pharma, based in Freiburg, Germany, is enrolling nearly 300 patients with Crohn's disease. An interim analysis of the data suggests the treatment is safe. Coronado Biosciences, a firm based in Burlington, Massachusetts, and for which I am a consultant, is running a similar multi-central double blind trial for Crohn's disease. These trials are underway in multiple sclerosis and autism, and others set to begin in ulcerative colitis, psoriasis, type 1 diabetes, and other immune mediated diseases. Worry that helminths could weaken patients' immune systems and leave them more vulnerable to some types of infectious diseases. Yeah, because the parasites, the parasite is a suicide bomber, of course, right? The parasite is a suicide bomber. It gets inside you, it kills you, and it dies. That's what the parasite wants. Maintains its current modern hygienic standards. You just talk about how the hygiene thing is destroying us and modern hygienic. Of course, he has to because you know certain things you can't just debate in medicine. of modern therapies for them almost certainly exceed the risk from helminthic procedure. Yeah, the chemical stuff is of course worse. That parasites. How it works? I mean, do we don't really understand how anything works. We really don't. We really don't how the body works. It's just funny. Just really funny. Anyways, can't talk about that. Yeah, hope you guys found this article very interesting. I know I did. Similar articles. Mm, can worms tame the immune system? Yeah, just very interesting. If you're still afraid of parasites, just do more research. I can speak from what I've seen from the studies and mostly from personal and other people that I know of their experiences. I can confidently tell you that whole parasite thing is bullshit. You don't get sick. You don't get a parasite infection and suddenly die. That does not happen. That will never happen. Yeah.